Today, I thought I'd try something a little different. Most people, some people who've known me for a long time knew that I'm particularly a creative person and I particularly love for writing. While I was never the kind of top scoring person in my English classes, I always had a passion for it. I always loved writing. I would make up my own short stories every now and again. However, as my life grew on, like many people, I started writing less. It wasn't that I didn't want to, it was just life got in the way and I had to put some parts of my life on hold in order to focus on other parts. But I always kept my love. I always had my love for writing there. And as that's so, I thought for the past 2 years I have been writing myself a short story. And I'll be honest, after 2 years it's still not finished. But seeing as I've been writing it for 2 years, it's still not finished, I figured I might as well share a little bit. I mean, okay, it's not going to be the best story you've ever heard, but you know what, it would be nice to share it. Plus, I know some bits of the story some people may consider shite, but can we try and keep it clean? If you're going to leave a comment down below, just please. Anyway, are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then, let me tell you more. Let me read you the first chapter of the book I've been writing for 2 years, Cyborg, Mutant Tales, Heroes and Lords. Some parts I will just be altering just for the time being. Chapter 1. Horace Arnold had worked very hard to get where he was today, CEO of a prestigious company with an office the size of a living room overlooking the city of London, and at the top of a beautiful glass skyscraper with 50,000 workers at his command. He'd worked hard. He'd earned this. At least, that's what he told everyone. In reality, Horace had been set to inherit this company from his father for over 6 years. He never had to work a day in his life, and to be honest, he felt he never would have to. This was his. All his. His intercom system buzzed. Mr. Arnold, you have another customer set up for this afternoon, looking for a 2-bedroom house to raise a family for around about 250,000. Thank you, Eliza. I'll get the team onto it. Sadly, over the course of his reign over Arnold's Incorporated, Horace had become corrupt. Why? Because he always knew there was an extra bit of money that could be made. A customer may come to him wishing to purchase a property for £50,000, and he would give them such property, but would neglect to mention the leaky pipes, temperamental gas cooker, or the fact the central heating didn't work. Customers, in finding these faults, would fork out, have these faults replaced, either directly to Arnold's Incorporated or to a professional who, unbeknownst to the customer, would actually be subcontracted by Horace, meaning once the work was done on a £50,000 property, Horace would have £100,000 in his business bank account, twice what the customer had hoped to pay. Now then, Horace announced, facing his team with a gleam in his eye, we have 3 possibilities for these new customers. Harry, I want you to take West Collins, Jeff, you take 27 Oak Street, and Belle, I want you to try and sell 127 Coast Road. Now get out there and sell those properties. Harry Seldon and Jeff Otis moved out of the room with purpose. Belle Buford, however, hesitated. Sir, she quavered, I really am not comfortable with this. Horace looked up from his papers. What exactly makes you uncomfortable here, Buford? He asked. Belle held her head up and looked firmly into his eyes. I am uncomfortable with the position you have put me in, she cracked. You know very well that 127 Coast Road is a dilapidated property that is in no condition to sell. I honestly don't know what you're talking about, Buford, replied Horace, absent-mindedly looking back at his papers. Belle slammed her hands down on the desk, leaned forward and grabbed the end of Horace's tie, pulling him in to look her in the eye. The gas mains beneath 127 were damaged 6 months ago, she hissed. They should have been repaired either by this company or by one of your subcontracted labourers. Gas is slowly seeping into that house, and people should not be raising children in that kind of dangerous environment. Horace slapped her hands off his tie, straightened it, and leaned over Belle firmly. That officially could count as assault, he growled. I could have you fired from your position for that outburst. You know why I'm not? By keeping you around, I am able to make a little more money than by showing you the door. Despite your obvious conscience you've grown, you are a good saleswoman, but your report could easily dispute that. Belle gulped as she looked at the one piece of paper that had fallen to the floor. Her sales report. On the whole, she had done quite well. 20 houses, 2 flats, and a bungalow this month alone. Not bad at all. But still, she knew she had sadly failed to sell 6 properties this month. And while the majority of her sales spreadsheets were positive, she knew Horace could easily modify her reports to highlight her shortcomings. She stared at him, wide-eyed yet emotional. You're a psychopath, she whimpered. Horace leaned over and whispered into her ear. Correct. I mean, okay, I know I don't have a good view of the market, but for a setup chapter, I don't think it's that bad. I mean, if you have a kind of decent and clean kind of criticism or comment, please leave it down below. I'd be interested to see. And who knows, maybe at some point I'll show you chapter 2, where things get kind of even more interesting. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you later this week, hopefully.